John Gray from the Centre for Applied Human Rights and York Law School discusses his participation in the peer observation programme and shares how peer feedback from Dr. Diane Forbes of the T. Hononga School of Curriculum and Pedagogy has informed his teaching of an online distance learning module.
So in a nutshell, what I was entering into was a matching process led by Richard. What I've called contracting, which is a conversation between me and my observer about what we were doing and why, and what they would be looking out for. And I call it contracting because it's about what are we out for, what's the agreement between us. Then there was the observation. She observed 1 week out of a 9-week course that I was running. So we had the contracting conversation about a month before she actually observed me for 1 week. Then she sent me written feedback within a couple of days of the week finishing. And one of the rich experiences was the nature of the feedback that she gave and the way in which she engaged with me. And then we had a Skype discussion just a couple of weeks ago, just to talk through partly what she said, but also to take the discussion forward. So in that contracting process, we negotiated what I wanted Diane to look out for. So I was interested to see her take on what I was wanting the students to do and how I was asking them to do it. Kind of match between course design and techniques. I wanted to see if she had any comment on how dull it was week after week after week, how the imaginative or lack of imagination that I brought to my teaching. As she only observed 1 week, that wasn't in the end much possible. Particularly, I was interested in online discussions and engagement, and I'll say more about that. And I was interested in anything Diane was interested in, because what she's interested in would I reckon be a worthwhile conversation. So, what did she say? The next few slides are comments that she wrote to me. So in the interest of transparency, I've cut and pasted them, but it's a purely subjective choice to show myself in a reasonable light. At least for the first 2 slides. So you can see there's it was an object lesson actually giving feedback about clarity of her comments, from the global to the very specific, and linked to specific aspects within the VLE. So I was using Echo 360 capture at my desk, just with the slides, not with the video of me as well. And more probing, could you make links to discussions, assignments, other aspects? So the example there, when you participate, I'm hoping you will talk about link to your own experience. And that's something I've always been guided to do within the module, is to start with where are you in relation to strategy planning, governance, human resource management, financial management. Start with your own experience, get them writing from that, recognising that they're already doing much of this, and the course, where appropriate, can advance their skills and knowledge. The material is fairly dry. I haven't learned from that if you're falling asleep already. So finding a multitude of ways to bring it to life is a challenge. What a lovely message. Nice, kick up the backside, done in a very constructive way. And a specific example, and I really hope I can do this next time, especially about leadership styles. It would be natural to have a conversation with other people in the university. A bit like our colleague, lots of people do maths, lots of people teach leadership. So I'm up for ideas and possibilities for that next time. So what did I do as a result? I immediately, as a result of the suggestions, cut down from having 2 forms to just 1, because it was clear that some of them only were kind of going online once and a bit sick. I originally typed downgrading the lecture. I moved it down on the list on the basis that some people start at the top and work down, and there are other more interesting things that they can do than listen to me. Pausing in lectures, as Diane suggested, I had already started breaking the lecture down into headlines segments, so 10 minutes, 15 minutes. In fact, it was never 10 minutes, it was always 15 minutes or longer. I can't talk less. So that's something for me to work on. And Diane's phrases, which I'm sure are familiar to you, to encourage not just the sage on stage, but the guide on the side, the kind of social constructivist, and the pleb on the web, which was new one to me. I don't know if it's new to anyone, of a compliment on their learning journeys as they create artefacts, their own learning, their own material that they can share and have validated by the students. The third one is the biggest challenge for me, and is another opportunity for next year. It was great. I do recommend it, certainly from my own experience. You know that whole feel fear and do it anyway? I'm not reading it because the title was enough. And it certainly taught me a lot, most usefully about the practice of online teaching and different ways of doing things.